The starship Elysium drifted silently through the void, its hull glinting faintly under the light of a distant sun. Inside, the crew of 12 humans and one alien worked tirelessly to keep the vessel operational. The alien, a towering, insectoid creature known as Zynara, was the last of her kind, a queen without a hive. She had been rescued from the ruins of her home world by the Elysium crew during a routine exploration mission. Now, she was one of them, though her presence still unnerved some of the humans. I was the ship's xenobiologist, Dr. Elara Voss, and it was my job to study Zynara, to understand her physiology, her culture, and her mind. Over the months, we had grown close. She was fascinating. Her chitinous exoskeleton shimmered with iridescent hues. Her multifaceted eyes reflected light like prisms, and her voice, though deep and resonant, carried a strange, almost musical quality. But it was her mind that captivated me the most. She was intelligent, empathetic, and carried a profound sadness that I couldn't quite place. One evening, as the ship's artificial day cycle wound down, I found myself in the observation deck with Zynara. The vast expanse of space stretched before us, a tapestry of stars and nebulae. She stood at the viewport, her long, segmented limbs folded gracefully behind her back. I approached quietly, not wanting to disturb her. "Elara," she said without turning, her voice echoing softly in the chamber. "Do you ever wonder if the universe has a purpose for us?" I blinked, caught off guard by the question. "I suppose I do," I replied. "But I think we make our own purpose. We find meaning in the connections we build, the lives we touch." She turned to face me, her eyes glinting with an intensity that made my breath catch. "And what if those connections are not of our choosing? What if they are predestined?" I frowned, unsure of how to respond. "I'm not sure I believe in destiny, Zynara. I think we have the power to shape our own paths." She stepped closer, her towering frame casting a shadow over me. "Perhaps," she said, her voice dropping to a whisper. "But what if I told you that I have seen you before? In my dreams, long before we met." I felt a chill run down my spine. "What do you mean?" Zynara reached out, her clawed hand hovering just above my cheek. "My species has a unique ability, Elara. We are connected to a collective consciousness, a hive mind that transcends time and space. When my world fell, I thought I was alone. But then I saw you. In my mind, in my dreams. You were always there, waiting for me." I stared at her, my heart pounding. "Zynara, I don't understand. Are you saying you knew I would be here? That we were meant to meet?" She nodded slowly, her eyes never leaving mine. "Yes, you were always meant for me, Elara. You are my anchor, my tether to this universe. Without you, I am lost." I felt a surge of emotions, confusion, fear, but also a strange sense of belonging. "Zynara, I don't know what to say." She lowered her hand, her expression softening. "You do not need to say anything. Just know that I will always protect you, always be with you. You are my purpose, Elara, my destiny." Before I could respond, the ship's alarms blared, shattering the moment. The intercom crackled to life, and Captain Reyes's voice filled the room. "All hands, report to the bridge. We've got an unidentified vessel approaching at high speed." Zynara and I exchanged a glance before rushing to the bridge. The crew was already assembled, their faces tense as they monitored the incoming ship on the view screen. It was a sleek, angular vessel, unlike anything I had ever seen. "They're hailing us," the communications officer said, her voice trembling slightly. "Put them through," Captain Reyes ordered. The screen flickered, and a figure appeared, a humanoid with pale, almost translucent skin and eyes that glowed a faint blue. "Humans," the figure said, its voice cold and emotionless. "You have something that belongs to us. Surrender the queen, and you'll be spared." Zynara stepped forward, her posture rigid. "I am no one's property," she said, her voice dripping with venom. "Leave this place, or face the consequences." The figure's lips curled into a cruel smile. "You are mistaken, Queen. You are ours by right. We created you, and we will reclaim you." The screen went dark, and the alien vessel began to move closer, its weapons charging. Captain Reyes barked orders, and the crew sprang into action, preparing for battle. But I could see the fear in their eyes. This was a fight we might not win. Zynara turned to me, her expression grim. "Elara, you must leave. Take the escape pod and go." I shook my head, my heart pounding. "No, I'm not leaving you." She placed a hand on my shoulder, her touch surprisingly gentle. "You must. If they capture me, they will use me to destroy countless worlds. I cannot allow that. But you're my hope, my connection to this universe. You must survive." Tears welled in my eyes as I realized what she was asking. "Zynara, I can't lose you. Not after everything." She leaned down, her face inches from mine. "You will never lose me, Elara. I will always be with you, in your mind, in your heart. Remember that." Before I could protest further, she turned and strode toward the airlock, her movements purposeful. The crew watched in stunned silence as she opened the hatch and stepped into the void, her form silhouetted against the stars. The alien vessel hesitated, as if unsure of what to do. Then, without warning, Zynara unleashed a burst of energy from her body, a brilliant cascade of light that enveloped the enemy's ship. The crew shielded their eyes as the light grew brighter and brighter, until it finally faded, leaving nothing but empty space. Zynara was gone. The bridge was silent, the weight of what had just happened settling over us like a shroud. I fell to my knees, tears streaming down my face. She had sacrificed herself to save us, to save me. Days turned into weeks, and the crew struggled to come to terms with the loss. But for me, the pain was unbearable. I had lost not just a friend, but a part of myself. I spent hours in the observation deck, staring out at the stars, hoping against hope that somehow she was still out there. Then, one night, as I sat alone in the darkness, I felt a familiar presence. A warmth spread through my chest, and I heard her voice, soft and gentle, in my mind. "Elara," she whispered. "I am here." I gasped, my heart racing. "Zynara? Is it really you?" "Yes," she replied. "I am with you always. You were always meant for me, and I for you. We are connected, now and forever." Tears filled my eyes as I realized the truth. She had become a part of me, a part of the universe itself. Her sacrifice had not been in vain. She had saved us, and in doing so, had found a new way to exist. I smiled, feeling a sense of peace wash over me. "I love you, Zynara," I whispered. "And I love you, Elara," she replied. "Always." As I sat there, bathed in the light of 1,000 stars, I knew that I would never be alone. Zynara was with me, in my heart, in my soul. And together, we would find our purpose, our destiny among the stars.